And I think that looks pretty good right there. Okay, so we also want to make sure that we adjust the height of the bottom here. If we look at our reference pictures again, you can see we have a little bit of a gap between the bottom of this piece and the bottom of the actual outer tank. So let's add that. Alright, so let's go into the right view here, and we're just going to pull up these verts here. So let's grab these ones, and we'll just bring this up a little bit. Alright, we could probably go a little bit higher. And I think that probably looks about right there. Okay, so that should take care of the proportions of the inner tank. Let's also maybe add a couple of additional edges on the inside here, so let's just hide everything else for now. And you can see we have these really long rectangle polygons here around the outside, and we want to break these up just to make sure that it smooths a little bit better than what we have right now. So let's go over to edge here. We'll just ring one of these outer edges. That should go all the way around for you. Let's just do a connect on this and maybe give it, let's maybe go 4 segments, no pinch, no slide. And we'll do the same thing on the inside here. Let's ring one of these edges and connect it with 4 segments. And let's also maybe do a couple down here on this piece. And we could probably get away with maybe 3 on this one. And on the inside as well. Okay. And I think we're looking pretty good here. Let's maybe just do a test smooth. Okay, so we'll put another turbo smooth on here with 2 iterations. And we'll see how this is looking. Okay, so everything's looking pretty nice and crisp. Check out the inside here. And I don't see any artifacts, which is good. Okay, we could do a little bit more adjustment on the bottom here, especially these verts here. I'm just wondering if we need to do that or not. Let's just maybe leave it. I might add 1 additional edge here by ringing these edges and just adding 1 segment. And we'll slide that down just a little bit closer to the bottom here. Alright, just to sharpen that up a little bit more at the bottom. Let's do the same thing here. Just bring that down to the bottom, right about there. Okay, we won't add those ones on the inside, but it should help this smooth a little bit better on the outside. Okay, so let's unhide all here. And we'll see how this fits together. Okay, so I think we're looking pretty good here. Alright, so I think we're finally done with these 2 tanks. We still have some work to do. We have some pieces that we still need to add in the inside here. We have a water filter that goes in there, obviously, and we also have a little bit of a kind of a spout that goes into this hole here to filter the water into the system, which I think we'll do next probably. Okay, so let's go back and look at our reference pictures here. And we'll see if we have one of this bottom piece that we need to make. Let's maybe check out this one here. Okay, so you can see we have a kind of a plunger that goes in here. We'll make this next, and we're going to do something pretty simple for this. You can see this is actually attached to the tank here, where it transitions, but we're going to make this sort of a separate object just to make things a little bit simpler for the tutorial here. So let's go back into Max, and we'll go around the back here, and let's just grab maybe the base of the tank here, and we'll hide everything else. Okay, so we essentially want that plunger to fit into this hole here. Okay, so let's maybe go into the top view. So switch this to the top. Alright, and we're just going to kind of block this out of a few different pieces here. Alright, so we'll start it with a cylinder. Let's go to the create panel and grab a cylinder. Draw that out right in the center of the hole here. Just a little bit smaller, like that. Give it a little bit of height. And we'll just kind of center it up here. Okay, let's also move it down in the side view. Okay, we'll push it right into the hole, like this. You can actually get rid of these height settings, we don't need those. And I think we can just leave it at 18 size for this one, so we'll just immediately convert this to double poly. And we'll get rid of the top and bottom bottom polygons here. So let's grab everything, hold down Alt and deselect the side ones. So we just have the 2 caps selected, we'll delete those out. Okay, and let's maybe go over to border here, grab the top border. Let's move this back down a bit into the hole. Let's put it right about there. And let's shift drag it up. Okay, and we'll just kind of scale this out a bit. Maybe like that. Shift drag it up again. Okay, and that's probably okay for the outside. Later on we're probably going to need to scale it down so it fits the hole in the tank that we have. But for right now, let's just leave it like this. We'll also maybe just chamfer down these edges. Okay, so I'm just going to loop an edge there. Whoops. Open up chamfer. And let's maybe give it 2 segments. And we'll just kind of space it out, maybe around 1. Okay, let's do the same thing down here, just loop this edge. Chamfer this one, and let's do that the same. Okay, that's essentially really all we need for the outer piece. We're going to need to make some kind of cap on the top here, so let's do that now. Let's go back in, grab another cylinder. Let's draw that out right on top. And we'll make this one a little bit bigger so it overhangs kind of the original cylinder there. Maybe like that, give it a little bit of height. Let's pull this down, and we'll just kind of push it right into the top here. Okay, and let me just change the color here so we can see something. And I think we'll start with that. Okay, so let's convert this to a poly. And again, we'll get rid of the 2 top and bottom polygons by deleting them out. Let's go over to border here and grab the top border, and let's just make this a little bit shorter. Maybe like that. And let's just shift drag it up. And we'll scale this in. And when you scale it, make sure you do it on all 3 axes. Let's bring it in like that. Okay, so we have a bit of a taper on the sides. Let's hold shift and scale it in. Maybe like that. And let's just push this down a little bit in the inside. Okay, and we'll just hold shift and scale it one more time, or shift drag it down right into the inside. Okay, let's just bring this right down all the way, maybe to about here. And let's maybe undo that for a second. I don't really like the shape of that. I'm just going to undo till we have this border selected here. Let's scale it in a little bit farther. Let's actually do it like this. Let's move this up a little bit. And we'll scale it in a little bit more. And let's push this one down a bit. And then we'll scale it right down into the inside, or shift drag it down the inside all the way. All right, and that'll just fit the original cylinder a little bit better. Okay. And this is, you know, not going to be seen that easily, so let's just chamfer the edges down really quickly. Just going to loop these 2 here, and we'll chamfer those. Let's tighten it up a bit, maybe like that. Do the inside one as well. And we could roll this over just a little bit more. Let's give it 2 segments. And we still have the open border here at the bottom. So let's grab that. And we'll just scale this in the top view, holding shift. Okay, I'm just going to bring it in so it kind of goes inside the original cylinder there. And now we can just scale these 2 edges down. So let's loop those and chamfer them. Okay, so really simple, but it'll be good for what we're doing. Okay, now we need to put the actual little plunger piece in the inside, so let's grab another cylinder here. Draw that out in the center. We'll make it a little bit smaller than the outside one. Maybe something like that. Give it a little height. And again, we'll pull this down and put it in the inside. Okay, and on this one, let's add maybe an extra cap segment here. And we'll leave the sides at 18. Let's convert it to editable poly. And I think we'll just maybe loop this edge here. And let's scale that in. Maybe something like that. Then we'll loop the outside edge. And we'll just bring that down. Whoops, on the z-axis. Alright, to kind of get a point on this thing. Maybe like that. Alright, that should work fine. So let's chamfer this edge. Give it a couple segments here. We'll tighten it up a little bit more. And we'll also chamfer the top edge here. So let's loop that one. Let's do 2, and we'll just tighten it up a little bit here. Okay. And one more thing we need is a spring on the inside. So let's turn off edge here. Go back into the top view. And let's go over to the shapes panel, and we'll grab a helix. Okay, and again, we're going to draw this out right in the center. And we'll bring it out so it's kind of right in the center of that gap between the two other cylinders there. Like that. Give it a little bit of height, and click again. Right, and we'll move this down. Alright, we also need to add a couple more turns on there, so let's adjust that. Let's take the turns up here to maybe 5, and we'll increase the height. Let's just move this down. And a lot of this won't be seen, but you know, the tank will be transparent or semi-transparent material, so we'll see some of the stuff on the inside here. So let's get this in here to add a little bit more detail. Just gonna position it about there. Right, and we also make sure that's renderable, so let's go back up here and check on enable and render and enable in viewport. Okay, we just want to make sure that's right in the gap there as even as possible. Okay, let me just turn off this realistic shading here. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good right there. And the height looks okay. Alright, so we'll go back into perspective here. Let's hit Alt Q to go into isolation mode. And I'm just going to change the color. And we'll probably just smooth this out. So let's do a little bit of work on the ends here. Okay, so let's convert this to editable poly. And at the end here, one of the ends of the spline will have 3 polygons on it. You can see we have 3 here. So what we want to do is get rid of these. Let's just select these. Deselect these ones so we have the 3 end ones selected. We'll delete those out, and then we'll select the border, cap it, and then control click edge. Alright, so we have the edge selected around the end there. And we'll do just a quick chamfer on this to finish it off a little bit more than just having a rough edge on it. Let's do maybe 2 segments. Okay, so I'll soften up the ends. Let's leave it like that. Hit OK. We'll do the same thing down at the bottom. Grab these polygons here. Deselect these ones so we only have the end one selected. Delete it. Cap the border. Control click edge and chamfer it the same way. Okay, now that we've done that, we should be able to turbo smooth this fine. Okay, so it's going to drop a turbo smooth on, and for this, 1 is more than enough. So let's leave it at 1 iteration. Let's unhide all here. Okay, and now we'll just grab these pieces. Let's do it in the side view. Let's grab all the pieces we just made. Hide everything else. And I think we'll just smooth this out as well. Alright, so let's just add a turbo smooth to each of these. I'm going to do 2 on the outside there, but we'll use 1 on everything else. Okay, we'll also change the color of this stuff to black, and let's throw on our gray material or our blue material. Okay, so that should work pretty good for our plunger. Now we just need to make sure that it's the right size. So let's unhide all again. And let's get a couple of these pieces out of the way here. Let's hide the inner tank. Okay, so we can see where this is coming through. And it's a little too big right now for the hole that we have cut in the bottom here, so we need to resize this down a bit. Alright, so I'm just going to select these pieces again, deselect the tank and the base. And we'll go into the top view here and just scale this down a little bit more all at once. Okay, we want it to kind of overhang the detail that we put into the tank base. So let's do maybe something like that. Also make sure that it's centered here. Just gonna eyeball that. Okay, and we'll also move it up just a bit here so it kind of sits above it. Okay, so now we can hide the tank and just make sure everything's fitting correctly. And we did make the hole a little too big here on the bottom of the tank, but I'm just going to leave that for now. You can adjust it if you want to by just scaling in the verts around this area. It shouldn't cause you any problems. We could actually probably just do that quick. Let's just reselect the tank base there. Grab all the verts around the hole. And let's turn off our edge constraint here. And we're just going to slightly scale this in. Okay. Probably go a little bit more here, so let's bring it in. And we'll just re-enable the speed there. Okay, and that's fitting a lot better. Okay, let's unhide all. Alright, I think we're finally done with most of the tank pieces. We still have to add the handle up here as well as the lid, which has quite a bit of detail. And we have a float that goes in another piece at the bottom there. But I think we'll tackle those pieces in the next part. I think we're roughly about an hour here, so I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so we're getting pretty close, and we only have a few more pieces to go, so there shouldn't be more than maybe, you know, 2 or maybe 3 parts left in this before we're completely done with this model. Alright, so hopefully you're getting a good result, and I'll see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.